action to expend some of the charges to cast. Basically, there's a couple of spells. You can use all 4 charges at once, and you can cast Greater Restoration, or you can spend 2 charges and cast Lesser Restoration. So there's. I'll go ahead and I'll make an item for you really quick.
Okay.
And in fact, I'll let you make the item, and what I'll do is I hope that I cannot copy paste this. This is not good. So yeah, so I'll have to make it for you. Or in fact, you can just make one yourself and put Charm of Restoration, 4 charges. It costs 4 charges for Greater Restoration or 2 charges for Lesser Restoration. And you have a total of 4 charges, like I said. And then he pulls his hand back, and like you said, he says, we are just enamored with tall humanoids like yourself. So take this gift, adventurer, and enjoy the scenes of our garden. So what brings you to Nangalore, as it's called now?
We're seeking. We were sent here to check out the ruins. Rumor has it that there's a creature here that we may have to deal with.
Oh, there are quite a few creatures. The carnivorous kind, as obviously you have already found. And there is the Medusa. She dwells here as well.
Oh, that charm away sounds weird.
The Medusa is the one that we are here to.
Are you here to kill her?
Likely.
Ooh. Well, we wish you luck. That is a charm of restoration that was well spent. And the Schwinga kind of jumps up on another larger stone that's there, and he points towards the north, and he says, "The Medusa that you seek is far to the north, in another dome." And he points to the north, and you can actually see the stairs of this place. Now that you're actually here, you're on top, you don't have any kind of foliage or anything getting in or obstructing your view, and you can actually look right to the north, and you can see that there's a very large dome, and it looks to be in rather good condition. And there's also a couple of wolf heads on the outer wall of this dome, and it is in the very northeastern corner.
Thank you very much for the information.
Sorry, I was uncovering the map for you. He says, "Oh, no problem at all, Tall One. It is our pleasure." Yeah, and you can see all the way down there. And also, if you guys want to kind of take a look here, there's a bunch of stuff, basically more foliage, to where you could have kind of gone around maybe. But then that's about as far as you can see because of the foliage and stuff kind of takes over. And Vorn is just like just making everything shake, I'm sure. That is a rather large where you're at, 010, as you're up on the causeway now. That is a tree that has a bunch of beautiful fruit and stuff on it. It doesn't come to life, but if you want to choose one, if you want to take one of those, you can. It looks like they are ripe for the pickings. But it's a huge tree. It's probably about as big as Vorn or so. About 10 feet tall. All right, you pick one off, and you have this like pear type of fruit in your hand. And what also type of spell? What 4th level? Are you storing a spell in there? You would have to do that on. You could have done that on on the boat anyway. I mean, you could have done that for a long rest. So if you want to do up to a 4th level spell, feel free to mark it down and then let me know later on. Okay, you stored a magic missile. Okay, a 4th level spell slot or a 1st level, or I would imagine probably a 4th level, right? Seeing that you can store a 4th level spell, so. And then you had a rest, so you got your spell slot back anyway. So, all right, very good. So keep track of that. And down the causeway, you can see it on the map. You can see that there's more jungle on the other side as you kind of look down the slope of the causeway on the other side, out of the garden, and all the way down at the end of the causeway, there is a huge dome with a big double door and a couple of wolves that might be protecting or controlling it, or not controlling, but maybe watching over.
I let the party know that the I forget what we called them. Said that up to the north, the dome.
Shawingas.
Shawingas say that the Medusa is in the dome to the north.
Yes, the Shawingas tell you that is where she dwells.
Should we head up that way, guys?
Now that we know, sure.
I mean, we might as well take care of the biggest threat first, yeah? That way we don't have to worry about it anymore. We can explore a little more freely.
Right.
I'm going to use my Pearl of Power to get my 3rd level slot back, and then I want to use a 1st level slot to cast Boon's Encouragement on Nathra.
Since she was traumatized.
Exactly.
Thanks.
So what next, adventurers? What say you?
Let's head north carefully.
I think that's the consensus. Deal with the imminent threat.
Okay.
I think
All right.
Zero is trying to tell us something. Maybe he has an idea.
I'm going to do another random encounter for you guys as you guys are kind of rolling around and starting to go on the causeway to the north. So, Vey, you catch something out of the corner of your eye again. More of these wild roots. Yeah. As you're walking past that giant tree that's kind of going from the garden onto the top of the causeway here, you find some more roots. So why don't you roll me a d4 again? And that's
I'm all about
more
the wild
roots. Yeah. She's all about those. I'm not going to say anything. She's all about the wild roots. So you find one more wild root, and there you go. So very nice. Well, and there's a lot of things on there too, and you keep finding the wild root, which is like one of the better ones.
Did anybody collect those fruits from the man trap?
Yeah. Well, the fruits from the man trap, yeah, you could collect one. I mean, well, I would say they'd probably be destroyed and stuff because of the acid and all that other stuff.
The fireballs.
Yeah, and plus the fireball, the firebolts. The tree in front of you, it actually has a bunch of fruits, and you guys saw Zero take one of these pears off.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that fruit out.
Okay, sure.
I wanna make sure it's safe.
Sure, you pull one off, and why don't you give me a survival check as you kind of look over it? Because you've seen all kinds of fruits in the wild. That's a beautiful roll. So you think that this fruit is definitely going to be good. It's not going to harm you or anything. But as to what it's going to do, you have no clue because you've never really seen this. But you can tell from smelling it and kind of poking and prodding it that it's not poisonous. That's for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna eat one.
Sure, you eat one, and it's very good. I mean, it tastes whatever you want it to taste like. That's what it tastes like. And I'm going to tell you that you feel like a sensation come over you, Vay, and I'm going to give you a couple more. In fact, I'm going to send you a tell.
All right.
I'm going to give her a couple extra temp hit points. So yeah, you consume the fruit, and it tastes pretty good. It tastes whatever mango. And mango is actually probably my favorite fruit now. Since I've moved to El Paso, there's lots of mangoes. And I love me some mangoes, man. So yeah, and there's some like this Mexican cucumber too. That's like really good and sweet. I'm like, whoa, this is good. Where has this been my whole life? Man, there's all kinds of like Mexican
I'm a huge fan of
squash
star
and,
fruit.
man,
You haven't had that?
I've never. No, those things are like so expensive, man. I never bought one. They were like $15, man, for just a little star fruit. I was like, I'm not buying that for $15.
Oh, it's so
Whatever.
good though. It's like perfect blend of tart and sweet.
Mm. So what else is everybody doing? You guys are walking to the north.
I'll tell them if they want. This terrain is something I'm comfortable scouting ahead on.
All right, when you
The
go
part
check
of
it out.
And using my, cloak, I'll pull my hood up and using my cloak and my boots of elven kind, I'm going to move, well, unquestionably silently without even having to roll for it, but as sneaky as I can move up here. And I'm gonna tell them that if they see me throw, a blast up into the air to come running.
A 3-round burst.
Yeah, throw in 2 Eldritch Blast or
All right.
straight up in
Blast in the air. We run away.
I
Gotcha.
love Texas.
Run to the south.
I love Texas. I can put a 3-round burst on my AR. I love it. I love it. Official M16 then. Almost. Not really. But anyways, I digress. So Darg, you go
But
ahead.
my boots say I move perfectly silent, so it's not a question about that. But yeah, I'm going to be as stealthy as I can with my hood up on my cloak of elven
It's
kind.
costly, and it's a lot of paperwork to do, but you can do it. All right. So what else is everybody doing as you guys are starting to move north and say farewell to the Chwingas? Chwingas. I'll give you guys some more experience. Oh.
All right. I'm gonna try to keep a halfway distance between he and the group.
All right. There's another 100 experience. There's also an owl on your left as well. That is like the face of an owl, and you can basically take your time and plus with the help of Vorn, you can get over that small little crevice. Looks like water probably once washed that away.
What's the deal with these tree stumps?
They're just giant trees that have just been
They used to
cut,
be
cut
trees?
down, yeah. And they're dying. They're definitely dead. I mean, they've been cut probably months, if not years ago. But yeah, it looks like someone came in here and cut those trees down. And they're massive. I mean, some of these trees are 10 foot wide or have a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, we should ask Schwinga about this.
Yeah, sure. You can go back and ask the Schwingas. Basically, what happened was humans came in here, and the humans came and basically cut the trees down, and then they had boats out there that they were loading the. They would cut the large trees up into smaller sections, and then they would load them onto the boats, and then they just left. So they were there for probably a couple weeks or so, probably about 6 months back.
Slogging man, huh?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. You guys can see down here on the left, here's another ruined aqueduct and another troll head. You guys can also see the rest of the foliage on the eastern side of the walkway that you guys are on.
I want to try to keep an eye out for any like man-eating plants or anything I might spot too.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. We'll take that into consideration. You can also see the walkway here. There are some stairs going into a rather large ruined palace, because you could see the wolves. Well, I'm sorry, the elephant heads there. So there you go. You can see more of it. And another elephant head here. Sorry, that's why I go quiet, because it takes me a little bit of time to uncover this stuff because of the fog of war. Now here, there is a sort of like a garden, a pit, I guess you could say a pit garden, and it is here. And there's a 10-foot walkway, so it's down about 10 feet or so. And there's all kinds of plants. I mean, these plants that are enclosed here, these are plants like nothing that you've ever seen. And this even goes for Juve. And, the shapes of these plants are fantastic. Their colors are very bright and vibrant, like back in Port Nyanzaru. It looks like where the sun is actually up above your head. It looks like these plants are like gems sparkling in the sun. And then, of course, there's this 5-foot high wall that is kind of set up, and it's a 10-foot descent down into the pit. And then you can actually, as you're kind of walking by, you can also see that there are some etchings that are deeply scratched into the wall also, sort of like the symbols and stuff that you guys had seen on that elephant head way back at the beginning.
Oh, cool. What did they
Thanks,
say?
Gio. Appreciate it, man. Well, if you get close to them, you might be able to see. Where you're at now, you're kind of far away, but yeah.
All right. I don't want to deviate.
No problem.
So yeah, I'm just gonna keep moving up until I get, carefully until I get up to these doors.
Sure. Here's another one of these types of gardens that are kind of inlaid into the stone, and you do notice that there is another one of these man-eater plants, these man traps that's in here, even though it's not fully exposed yet. But yes, you can definitely tell. And same thing here. A lot of the with the sun, a lot of the plants are sparkling like gems.
So I guess I'll like turn around so that I don't know how this will work. I can throw my hood back if that's what it's going to take for them to be able to see me. But I'll just like point to my eyes and do like a little thing with my hands, trying to make it look like that man-eater as much as I can, and point in the direction of it.
I like that. That's good.
Hungry hippos? That's cool.
Yeah, you're
whatever
doing
they
like,
want to believe I'm doing.
What is that? You're doing like charades and stuff, or you're trying to like mimic the monster and stuff.
I have the palms of my hand together, and I keep closing my hands together with my fingers going in between each other, trying to make it look like one of the mouths of that thing.
Very nice. Thanks again, GeoQuest.
And I'll
totally
point at it, but I'm
man.
gonna keep going until I get up to these doors, and I'm gonna signal to them to hold back where they're at now, because I want to check out both these doors, and I have a way I want to do this. So
Zero says he's commanding Vorn to mimic you.
I'm gonna wait until I get up to these doors, but as soon as I get up to the door, I'm gonna use my ring of X-ray so I can look inside.
Sure.
Through the door.
Now, to get back to Vey, did you take a look at any of those runes or etchings that were deeply, basically scored into the stairs and then the wall? Did you look at any of those, or?
There was a stairs that was directly left of me.
Yes, they were about right here, back where
Yeah,
you were.
I will
about
check
right
those
here,
out.
So, okay. So
Yeah, I checked those out before he pointed out the man trap.
Sure. Yeah, so as you're looking in, you can see some etchings, and this is everything that you can decipher. You can decipher, you can see, and this is with your helmet telepathy. So without dreams, eternity is unbearable. So I'll put that in chat. You also see Great Ubtao, free me. Also, for the lives of a few, all must pay. And then you see To Dream, to Dance.
Okay, interesting.
To
I'll
dream, to
write that down
dance.
on a notepad or whatever,
Okay.
and share it with the group when we are together again.
Yeah, so that's basically but those plants are beautiful. You almost feel compelled to go down and check them out because of being a ranger, and you want to gain as much knowledge of flora and fauna as you want to, and just nature in general. I mean, it's not like
while
you're
he's doing
sailing
that,
through or anything.
while he's doing that, I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so go ahead and move your token down to the base of the stairs or whatever, and these are beautiful plants. And how long do you spend down there, by the way? I mean, you don't see any creatures. You see a couple of squirrels kind of running around and picking some acorns or some acorn type of fruit off of the plants and the small trees in there.
Maybe just a moment to identify the plants.
Okay. Yeah, you get as you go down into that pit, and you're breathing and you're like, wow, something is like it's like me opening up those D&D box games. It's like this aroma hits you and you're like, whoa, I can get high from this. So you're like, wow, this could possibly be some type of hallucinogenic plant or something. And it just got just the scent, the aroma. You've smelled this before out in nature.
All right. Well, if I think it's hallucinogenic, I'm gonna back up before I get exposed to it too much.
Yeah, Swat, I like it too. I'm just kind of going with the flow and changing things and having fun with it. Getting rid of a lot of the encounters.
Did you find any
No
ancient
need to have
Jolton
all that
spoons down there, Vay?
low-level stuff to tinker with.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we can visit this area again when we come out. For like a party or whatever.
Party time on the next long rest, right? You're going to have
Right.
Omi add this to a spice kit, right?
Yeah.
So as you guys are approaching this massive bell-shaped dome, it appears to be intact. It doesn't have any holes in the roof. The bronze double door, it's hanging square. It's in its frame. It's not damaged at all. The doors are closed. Yeah. And you guys, this is a massive dome. I mean, this thing is probably 50 feet wide, probably 50 feet tall.
I'm just gonna speak the word of command for my ring of X-ray vision. I'm just gonna stare at the door, like forehead to the door, staring at it.
So what is the actual mechanics? Can you see 5 feet through stone or something like that?
It has
iron?
a radius of 30 feet, and if it's stone it's made out of, my vision penetrates up to 1 foot of stone.
Okay. So
So I can see through 30 feet as long as there's not more than 1 foot of stone anywhere in there blocking it.
Yeah, I would say that it's right on the verge of 1 foot of stone. So yeah, you can see that this is a circular chamber for sure. And there is a bunch of divans in there, a bunch of different, love seats, and this is actually a pretty nice chamber. It looks like it's probably a royal apartment, or maybe once was centuries ago. And you can see that there's can you see in X-ray vision? Does it give you color sight, but you can see a bunch of murals on the wall? And go ahead.
Yeah, it says light goes through solid objects as if it were transparent.
Okay, very good. So yeah, you can see all kinds of bright floral, murals and all kinds of like colored glass. There's all kinds of mosaics and wooden tables, a bunch of divans, a bunch of nicely cushioned and padded seats that you can sit in. There's all kinds of bits of cloth straight out all over the floor, and then at the center of the room, there is actually a longer divan that is standing on top of a circular dais. And reclining on the divan is a woman dressed in a flowing robe that looks like it's probably made of parrot feathers because it's got all kinds of stunning colors. And despite she's got this like feathery veil on that is covering her face, and it's also covering her arms and her legs and stuff as well. This is those parrot feathers. And then next to her, there is a very large clay pot that has a big black flower that is growing out of it. And as you're looking through with X-ray vision, all of a sudden she turns towards you, and it's like she knows you're there, and she's just kind of looking at you. Although she can't see you. Well, maybe she can, maybe she can't. But this is what the chamber looks like now, and I'll uncover it. And then over on the western side of the circular chamber, Dargonoth, there's also another 10-foot bronze door.
Oh, just so you know, because I always like to play fair, my vision radius is only 30 feet with the X-ray. So I wouldn't actually be able to see that entire room, really. I wouldn't be able to see the back end of it.
Yeah, not the very back 10 feet of it, but yeah, you can still see the door, though. I just don't feel like covering it back up.
Yeah, I know. I was just letting you know because I don't ever want that to be an advantage that's like broken,
No, that's all right. No, I knew that you had 30 feet, but I just didn't. I felt like, I'm uncovering it the first time. I'm just going to let them see it all. So get a little bonus.
Knowing I only have a minute. I mean, a minute's more than enough time to get to this other door, but I want to scout in there while I still have X-ray, so I'm going to slowly and quietly and stealthily work my way over to the other set of doors to try to look through them before my X-ray vision wears off.
Sure, yeah, and then that's how you can actually see the rest of the chamber, right?
Oh, no, not in there, not in there.
Oh, okay, well, you can see.
Yeah, I don't want to sneak in there. I just saw what I assume is Medusa in there. I'm not trying to sneak in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like she probably saw you as well. But yeah, inside of this room palace, it looks like it's an old palace or something. And there's like all kinds of, you can see like traces of like a gold-colored plaster that's still clinging to what's left of the dome in a few spots. But everywhere else, it's just weathered brick, and most of the plaster's fallen and shattered on the ground. And in the middle of here, there is a larger than life, actually probably an elephant-sized statue that's dominating the center of. It looks like some type of warrior, and it's probably about 20 feet tall or so. And like I said, there's these elephants on the outside. There's carvings on them. There is a towering spire that's inside here too on the western part of the chamber, and I'll go ahead and I'll open this up because this is pretty much what you see, and plus, even though it's only 30 feet, I will just go ahead and show it all to you anyway. So, and then there's this massive Cholton warrior that is in the middle of this room where there is a pool, and you can definitely tell it's a Cholton warrior because you've seen all kinds of Choltons back in Port 9 Zaru. So this thing is wearing probably splint armor. He's got a helmet that sort of like looks like the head of a Tyrannosaurus. So there's like these big teeth, and he has intricately patterned shield that looks like it's probably of like a leopard hide that's stretched over it. And there are all kinds of towers that are hovering over the basically looming over the chamber and whatnot. And yeah,
I guess
all
some
kinds of
amusement,
rainwater dripping in, stuff like that.
I guess some amusement at knowing probably Omi and Shen are the only ones that have a chance at knowing why I'm just staring dumbly at these doors. Because nobody else was there when I got this ring.
Yeah, no, that's right. And he's also got a big stone spear as well. And there's you can see that right past him, there's a clay urn. And then there is also you can see, because this is actually brightly illuminated in here because of all of the holes in the dome and because of the door that's smashed in on the western part of this chamber. And there's also a balcony that goes out, and that's where a majority of the light is coming in is from those sources: the door, the balcony, and all of the holes in the dome as well. And then there's of course a pool of water 30 feet wide and about 20 to 25 feet, and it's and you can see that it's probably down about 5 feet embedded into the stone floor. This used to be a beautiful palace at once, and you can see there's stairs going up to where there used to be, another story to where it would be like a rampart that would basically encompass the entire shape of this palace. But of course, there's only a couple sections. There's only one other section where you can actually get to with the stairs. So that's what you see in there.
I'm gonna go back to the group now. And
and the X-ray vision fades out.
Yeah, it only lasts a minute. But here are the big things I want to question about. I want to describe as best I can that strange black plant that was sitting next to the woman I assume is the Medusa.
Well, you don't know because she had a veil on, so she had a sort of like an outfit made of parrot feathers. But she did have that veil on, so you don't know if it's the Medusa or if it's someone else.
I'm gonna just explain that it's a woman I think might be Zalcor, but I don't know for sure because she had a veil. But I want. Whoa! What just happened? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, something just happened on my computer. I thought.
Tighten up.
But I want to. I want to describe to Vey that black, strange plant next to her as best I can and ask if she knows anything about it.
Who wants to know what about what?
The strange plant you said was sitting next to the woman that I'm assuming is... I keep forgetting her name.
Vey, let's see. Well,
Zalcor.
Zalcor, yeah. But... you describe this plant in Vey, you probably think it would be some type of like a giant tulip or something like that, or maybe an orchid.
And then I'll
describing it to you.
I'll tell the
and
rest of the
you think
party.
to yourself, they don't grow in black. Their typical color isn't black.
I'll tell the rest of the party as best I can. Like we can check out that big dome, and I'll point over my shoulder. It doesn't seem like there's much in there, and it's pretty ransacked, although there's an urn that I want to know about, but that can come later after we take care of this. But I'll tell them that I saw a woman that I assume is Zalcor. I keep forgetting her name. Yeah, sitting in the middle of that room, and I think that we should try to talk to her first, but we should probably keep our giant pet outside, because if she sees that mirror and it is her, it might piss her off.
Vorn just kind of busts through that door. Vorn is here.
Keep him ready to bust in, but let's not bring him in until we see if she's willing to talk, because she seems to just be relaxing and her face is covered, so maybe she doesn't want to instantly turn us to stone if that is her. I'm always open to talk to people before we just start stabbing at things.
As a backup plan, do you know if she would be affected by these hallucinogenic plants that I found over here?
From what I read, I don't know, but I'll ask the DM. if I know that from my nice roll earlier.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't know if it would affect her or not, but yeah. I mean, you would have to see. You know what I mean?
As far as I know, Medusas, from my recollection, don't have
They
any
are humanoid
immunity
types. I mean, they are
Yeah.
a humanoid type of creature. So, I mean, she could have, I mean, even though she's not a pure human, but I mean, it could happen. I mean, you know that she's a monstrosity. Her classification is a monstrosity. So yeah, I mean,
I don't recall any
monstrosities.
stories of them being immune to having any special immunities, I guess.
Also, everyone know that I have this dust of disappearance that will grant us all invisibility for a minute. That's not very long, but
I would suggest also that while we attempt to talk to her, just don't look her straight in the eyes. Just keep your eyes averted away from her while we talk to her. I think she'll understand.
That would be if she pulls her hood off, right? Because she is wearing that hood that is covering her face. That veil.
you can make it look respectful too by like bowing, possibly.
And odd as this sounds, I mean, I know Shen, Omi, you know what I was doing, and I'm not just a weirdo that likes to stare at doors because I think they're pretty. Somehow she seemed like somehow it seemed like she saw me through the door. I don't know how. It threw me off a little bit, but she looked my direction.
Well, if there's a chance she might know that we're here, then we maybe should just talk to her right away if we are going to do that. So, you guys want to do that?
Should we save this encounter till next time? Just because it's getting kind of late?
Yeah, I was gonna as soon as you guys walked in, I was gonna give you the description of her,
Yeah.
and then
Sounds good.
yeah, it's getting pretty late. I see the time, so time's just
Cliffhanger.
flying by. You guys know I'm all about the cliffhangers.
Yeah, we always seem to end on them, huh?
Okay, so if we're saving here, does that mean we can come back to this point if we mess up?
Oh,
It's a
if you
save
if you
point.
save, you save, and if you mess up,
Yeah.
you can just
Quick
reload
save,
the
quick reload.
Yeah, just
Right.
reload save. Yeah, exactly.
Also, guys,
Well-
don't forget that Maneater plant that I saw down there. And I'll point
Yeah,
back in this direction again.
Yeah, that thing is it knows that you're there. I mean, it knows that it
Nothray
really
is
can't
going to
get to
hug
you.
the eastern wall big time.
Well, Darganath, you seem to know Medusa's better than the rest of us, so maybe you should be the one to talk to her. But I can give you some of the spoon's blessing before you go in.
And she was royalty, so right up your alley there, Darganath.
I will cast Enhance ability for Charisma on Darganath. And I'll also give Darganath some bardic inspiration before he does this thing he wants to do.
All right, so you've given them the spoons of inspiration.
Okay, Darganath, you're all blessed. So let's do it.
I guess we're ready to go say hi? Or do we want to deal with this man plant first?
Let's avoid the man plant.
Yeah, let's just go say hi and see what
The man
becomes
plant
of
in a
this.
gimp suit. Let's avoid that. All right.
I've had enough
Oh,
acid
God.
for one day.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why you're hugging the right hand side of the causeways because you don't want any more of that.
That could be taken. So I'm picturing I'm picturing like some. I've had enough acid for the day.
It was
Still
like he was
hallucinating from the
slimed
last
in
trip.
Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? It's like he was slimed. He doesn't want to be slimed again. All right. So, what say you, adventurers? Are you opening up the
I say we
beautiful
knock.
bronze doors?
Be respectful and we knock.
Sure. I like that. That even could go a long way in this encounter. So you knock, and you can hear this. It kind of like just knocks, and you take like the hilt of your venom dagger or something like that, and you hit it, poof, 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 and you can hear it kind of echo, beyond the door and the walls. And after about 5 or 10 seconds or so, Darganoth, you start to hear the bronze door scraping on the stone foundation that it's sitting on, and the two doors start to open up, and they actually open up from the inside. So the doors open up, you can see everything that I've already explained to you. The urn, with the big black orchid in there. This what appears to be a beautiful woman kind of stretched out, sitting on the long divan. And as you're standing at the door, and everybody's hid on the side. Look at that. Even Vorn. Vorn's like, I don't want to become stone. You look inside, and this figure, she acknowledges you, and she says, strangers have come to Nangalore, my love. And she kind of looks over to her right as she's just like petting. She's like kind of maybe stroking someone's leg or maybe something like that, as if someone was standing beside her. But you don't see anyone except for just her sitting in that divan. And then she says, oh, my love, what boon do our subjects beseech? Please come in and grab a seat. We have some things to discuss.
And I'll graciously bow, and I'll thank her for her. Thank you very much for your invitation. I'm pleased to meet you.
You're most welcome. I don't get visitors very often.
Do you mind
but
if some more
don't be
guests?
scared. Yes, please come in. I knew that all of you were here. Just please leave that big metal thing outside. It'll tear up the place like a bull in a china shop. So come in, grab a seat. We've got things to discuss, and don't be scared.
I'll introduce myself.
Don't be scared. Well
I'll introduce
met.
myself fully as Lord Darganath of Maulmaster.
Well met, Darganoff of Maulmaster. Welcome. My name, as she stands up, and she keeps the veil on, she says, my name is Zalcor. I am the Queen of Omu. I am on vacation right now, so to speak. So please come in and sit. And she motions everyone. And then there's enough seats in there for everyone. And then she just kind of sits back down and starts to recline and lounge a little bit on the divan. And it looks like she's still... It looks like she's still kind of got her hand up in the air, like kind of resting it on something, but you're like, man, that's got to be tiring on her arm. Because you guys don't see anything. But that's where we'll go ahead and we'll end for tonight. And we'll pick back up, and we play next week again, everybody. So this is going to be the third week in a row, and we play on June 1st. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, good game. Enjoy your movie tonight.
Thanks.
And thanks, everybody, for playing. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week, and good game tonight.